back and forth. Probably should have came in with a Nipsey Hussle song, a Victory Lap intro or some shit.
Oh shit.
I let my shit rock in. Good evening, motherfuckers and motherfuckettes. This is your host, Young Dolemite, of the Too Much Game podcast. Here with the super producer, being ready.
Yes, sir.
How your week was, being ready?
My week was a tragedy, stressful, hurt. I was fucked up all week, bro.
Me too, nigga. Like that's the reason we had to postpone episode 8 from being last week to being right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I did episode 6, Who's Your Real Enemy? Episode 7, Hate Poison. And for some reason, it just felt eerily like it was a lead up to today's episode. You know, not to put that much power on myself, but it just was like, damn. Like, I did these 2 episodes, and then this shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
That shit fucked me up. Like, you know, we did the episode of Cat vs. Dog at, 3 o'clock. Then after we got off the mics, we saw the news. 3 shot in Los Angeles. And at first, we just like, damn, that's crazy. Till we look, we seen the area. And we see that it was Crenshaw and Slauson. Mm-hmm. And it just seemed to be narrowing down to get worse and worse as the minutes wane. Like, we got the news. Oh shit, somebody said Nipsey got hit, and in my head I'm just like, I hope he got hit in the leg or some shit. Like, I'm hoping it's an arm shot or some shit like that he gonna make a song about later. But this shit just got worse and worse, and more motherfuckers is like, hey, I heard he didn't make it. Nipsey gone. And me personally, I was just hoping against hope. If you look through my Instagram posts, I'm like, pull through. Even after I heard from people he had passed. Like, I wasn't going to believe that shit until it was an official story on the news. And then when NBC tweeted it, it was just like, yeah, show canceled. I need to give him a moment of silence. It was heavy. I couldn't even go. Like, I ain't got nothing for this shit. The episode that I was gonna do last week would have been so fucking irrelevant. I wouldn't even have wanted to hear it myself. So I just had to, double back and be like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put that one in the back pocket for a later date. I got it saved. I'm not sure whether or not I'm even gonna do that episode. Cause it's just so it was going to be a good episode. But in the moment, it would be like, playing a song at a funeral or some shit. Like, hey, y'all want to hear my demo? Nah, nigga, fuck out of here with that bullshit. It just wouldn't have been necessary to the moment. So I backed up off it. So I'm a week late with episode 8. But, this one is completely dedicated to Nipsey. This one is entitled Victory Lap. Because they say you can't judge a book by its cover. But I feel like you could judge a book after you read the final page, whether or not the book was complete. Because it seems like Nipsey, he still was writing his story, but he got cut short. So the last page of the book that is Nipsey Hussle, which is a great story. Like, he's legendary. He's up there with the greatest, So to compare him to the greats is no longer a stretch. Sometimes you compare a person to somebody who's no longer here, and it's considered blasphemous. Like, for you to be like, this was like Tupac, or for you to compare him in any way to Tupac or somebody like that, it's like, you out your fucking mind. You can't compare Nipsey Hussle to Tupac. Well, now you can. They both got cut short in their prime, so it's no longer a stretch to compare him to a great. They say the dead get overrated. Like, oh, you only saying that because he passed. Like, no, now you can finally judge him fairly. The book is written. It's like after a player retires or after anybody has passed their point of being active, now you can really judge it. You can really tally up the stats. It's no longer points per game or points per season. Now it's a whole career. It's a body of work. The body of work is complete. So now you can fairly judge it compared to other bodies of work that have been complete. Even though he wasn't, I felt like he had a lot more to go. He had a lot more steam.
Way more.
But it just got cut short. So,
Nipsey would have been the next billionaire in hip hop.
Yeah.
What he was doing. And I think he would have had done way more than, the other billionaires as far as for the community.
Oh, yeah.
He for sure would have brought, he would have brought all kind of shit up and down Crenshaw.
It'd have been a Black Wall Street.
Exactly.
And I think that's the reason that they killed him. As much as people online like to try to go with the back and forths and, I felt like it was some random shit, y'all going overboard with this conspiracy shit. Y'all acting like it was whoop-de-whoop. When we say that it was a conspiracy or when we say that it was the government, we're not saying Agent 47 from Hitman walked up with a black fucking suit on with a silencer on a fucking double ballers and shit and, shot him in the back of the head with 2 clean pew pew and disappeared off into the fucking night. Like, that's not what we saying. We saying that somebody conspired to do this that wasn't just one man acting alone. That's what we're saying when we're saying that it was a conspiracy. Like, it's not like we thought that it was some fucking sniper from 3 miles away with a super gun or, some sci-fi movie shit. That's not what we saying when we saying that we believe that it was something else. We saying that we feel like it's more than just some random nigga from whoop-de-whoop. Because, it's like the stories are conflicting. It seems that we getting a different story every day. Like, some people saying, oh, he was a snitch. He was in Oakland for the longest, and then he came back, popped up. Nipsey tried to shoo him off the block, and then what happened. And then his partner with the cowboy had it saying it was a dude who they shook hands with, had a conversation with, and then that happened.
Introduced himself as a rapper.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know what to believe. All my belief system is the marathon must continue.
Facts.
Like, what happened. No matter how you feel like it happened, no matter what you think the reason is, what's done is done. So now what are we gonna do? Like, that's in the past now. Like, he's no longer here. And it's seeming like so far, it's a beautiful thing. Like, I'm seeing the truce. I seen the peace walk the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that, man, that shit was, like, powerful. And I hope that, since all the other, other cities across the nation, all the other states, they taking after what we do as far as this gangbanging shit. Now you see that motherfuckers is on some black shit. Y'all need to get on that now. Y'all wanted to gangbang like us. Y'all wanted to shoot each other like us. Y'all wanted to wear colors like us. Y'all even claiming some of our streets that y'all ain't never been on.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all want to do that, do what we doing now. Have a fucking peace walk. Have a truce. Stop the fucking killing. Since you want to be some Mr. Me Too shit, do that too. We'll really respect that shit. You'll never have to hear another nigga from the West Coast saying that y'all niggas is whatever or whatever if y'all do that. Like, because if you gonna copy something positive. Don't follow us down into some bullshit. Follow us into doing some positive shit. But, again, this is just a shout out to the legendary Ermias Asgadon. I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. I hope I ain't fucking his name up. Sorry, Nipsey. You got a wild name. Like,
yeah.
A lot of motherfuckers trying to pronounce his name, but for us, he just Nipsey Hussle. Or from niggas who from LA, Thundercat. Nipsey, neighborhood Nip, Hustle with the $2 signs. Nipsey basically Hustle the Great from now on.
Hustle the Great.
Hustle the Great. You know, born August 15th, 1985.
Leo gang.
Man, I can't say nothing. I'm a Scorpio.
That nigga was the king, man.
But my wife is a Leo, so I can't just shit on Leos. Like, you know, I'm a back off that fade. You know, he carried y'all.
Yeah, him. That's funny. You know, it's a beautiful thing, and I wish he was here to see the amount of love. Because even though you here and you know you got love because you're going state to state, I don't think he really knew how many people fuck with him.
Yeah, and it's a situation like I tell people, and it sounds funny, but I always say I want to have my funeral while I'm alive, because the funeral is the biggest party you ever gonna get. You will never have a birthday party like your funeral. And it's fucked up, but it is what it is. Like, think about it. Niggas take off work to come to your funeral. Niggas ain't taking off work to come to your birthday party, even if it's on a Friday night.
Facts.
Like, your funeral is something that niggas will fly to your state for. Ain't nobody flying to your state for your birthday party. There's no party. Niggas will miss your wedding, but they won't miss your funeral. Niggas will miss your baby shower, but they won't miss your funeral. Your funeral is where you gonna get more love than you ever knew you got. Funerals is where you really be like, damn, this nigga knew a lot of people. You might know a dude as a solitary dude. Like, you might think he's a loner. And then his funeral roll around and it's 20,000 people. And you like, damn. And that's just people in general. This ain't even Nipsey Hussle. This is any people, you know, especially us being from LA. If you from the inner city, you from the hood, and you know of dudes who get killed, you might think, you know, he's just a regular dude around the hood running around. He's, you know, he's whatever. Yet he get killed. And it's standing room only at the funeral. Like, man, the whole hood came out. The whole city came out. Teachers from 3rd grade be at your funeral. And these is people who loosely fucked with you. But when it comes to a funeral, that's when you get all the love that you missed when you was alive. And it just is what it is. So, like, me personally, like I always say, I want my funeral while I'm alive. Give me my flowers while I can still smell them.
Hello.
Because a lot of us, we was giving Nipsey his props. I wore the damn Nipsey Hussle Hirachis the day before he died. You know, like, it's a lot of us been fans. And for some strange reason, it's like now we got this old fan, new fan beef. Where it's like dudes can't let you be fans of Nipsey Hussle. Like, it's weird to me. Like, you see dudes with the you know, you all of a sudden you a fan now. Oh, now you like Nipsey. Like, I can't like Nipsey because what? Like, what is it that makes it wrong for me to be a fan now that I hear that he's passed? Because a lot of people, they don't really get up on somebody till they pass. Just like XXX Tentacion. Remember when XX, like, a lot of people didn't know his music at all, but then he get killed and now streams go up, which is normal. And more people are, you know, playing his music, and some people are like, oh, you know what? He got some dope shit. So I don't really shit on the dudes who wasn't fans in the first place unless you were shitting on them. If you felt like he wasn't shit, now all of a sudden you a fan, I'm like, why now? What was it that made you go from he ain't shit to now he's the shit? That's, you know, I'm team keep that same energy when it come to that. Like, you know, stick with what you was with. If that's where you was at, stay there. You know, and it's just sad because I've been seeing a lot of people saying, like, I've been seeing almost more condolences for Lauren London than anybody, especially from women. Like, oh, I can't believe what she's going through, and I feel it because I would hate to be grieving the person who I love, and it's a trip because, like, with Lauren, I'm not completely sure. Like, there were rumors that him and her were married. Like, I guess they said they got married in Mexico. I don't know whether or not that's true. I've seen people say that it's true. I've seen people say that it's not true. So I'm just like, condolences to his queen, basically. I'm not going to call her his wife, girlfriend. She just his queen. Because she was the woman that was associated with King Nipsey Hussle. So his queen, his kids, Imani and Cross, his big brother Black Sam, sister Samantha, his parents, his father, who he's named after, Ermias, and I think his mom's name is Angelique. Like, condolences to all them and the fans. Because, as much as love as he had as far as family, we was hurt out here too.
Yeah.
Like that shit. I was crying like I lost a relative. When I left here, it was like once I got on the freeway, like, $1 Million While You Young came on, and I was like bawling, ugly face, like
all right.
I was told up. I didn't even expect to be like that, because when we got the news, we sat here and had a conversation. We talked for like, 2 hours?
Yeah, it was total disbelief. Like, even now, like, I know it happened, but it's still hard to take in. Like, the shit done drained me all week, and it's still hard to take in. Like, seeing the videos and everything. The one that made me that fucked me up, and I've seen it before, but it's even more like the one when he what's his name, Bruce, the dude that was in the parking lot that he had working in the parking lot,
bro.
Yeah,
the one who he took to clean him up and got him a manicure and got him a haircut, got him a chain,
took him out to eat. Like, that was the type of person he was. Like, seeing that and that nigga energy, all the videos where this nigga smiling. It ain't too many videos out there the only video out there that's bad at that nigga, which he was protecting his boy when he slapped the security dude.
Yeah, the dude slapped the cone out of his homeboy's hand.
Right.
And he slapped the
right.
victory slap, as it's known as.
The victory slap.
The infamous victory slap.
So that's and I won't even call that bad because he was protecting his boy.
Like, yeah, like it wasn't like he just slapped him on some, I'm Nipsey Hussle, get out of my way, bitch.
Right.
Smack.
Right.
Like, nah, you cross my boy, slap.
Ain't no videos of him sounding stupid. Ain't no videos of him acting out retarded. I don't even think it's videos of him just, dog, there's no bad. The only thing the people can say that bad about Nipsey was he was a gangbanger. And he said on a video, like, yeah, I'm from over there. But am I a gang banger? Am I in the streets? No, I'm not. I'm out here making the change, and that's always been his end game.
Yeah, like he said, I think the sound of my ceremony. I don't hate y'all. I just only love us. So it ain't nothing wrong with saying I'm from 60s. He didn't say fuck A Trey. He didn't say fuck Hoover. He didn't say fuck nobody. If anything, in his earlier music, he would say, fuck the enemies and, blah, blah, blah. But he would never say by name. So by enemies, you could be talking about anybody.
Yeah.
And typical rapper shit, fuck them niggas, is just rapper lingo. Rappers ain't killing nobody, but saying fuck everybody, I'll shoot everybody. So that's just music. That's just art that he was making. And the later he got into his career, it seemed like after, Marathon. Mm-hmm. That was pretty much it for the shoot them nigga shit.
Yeah.
It was all black business, build something.
And that's when once I heard the Marathon, I said, it's over for the game for this nigga. Like, I've been listening. I brought the fucking Slauson Boy Volume 1 from that nigga. Is it Volume 1?
Yeah, the original Slauson Boy.
Yeah. I brought that from him and Rollo in the fucking office Slauson in the Keyshawn Johnson Center on the corner.
Yeah, because I think Rollo did all the beats on from like Slauson Boy to Marathon. Rollo was doing most of his beats.
He was doing a lot of them.
He was doing most of his beats.
And like it's it's his growth from there to where the Marathon came was crazy. That I don't know if it's been seen like that. As far as it's like he just a crazy ass growth spurt.
Yeah, and it's like, to me, The only two rappers that I can name who got better as they got older was Tupac and Nipsey. A lot of rappers can't match their first album. A lot of rappers, that first album be their best. A lot of rappers can't match their first album. Or a lot of rappers, their first album is the best work that they got.
Right. A lot of time.
And Nipsey, you could consider Victory Lap as his first album, but I consider Slauson Boy to be his first project. I count projects. I don't count albums. So me, I put mixtapes in the mix. Whatever body of work that you put out, I count that.
Right.
So when I put Lil Wayne in categories with people, I count all them mixtapes because those are works of art. Right. So you can't discount it. You might be able to say, oh, well, that wasn't on your beat. But at the same time, I'm a rapper. I'm not a producer. So it ain't like I'm stealing production from somebody. These are my bars. So you got to count my bars against their bars. So me, when they say, oh, who's whoop-de-whoop, like when I was having a discussion about me saying that Nipsey Hussle was better than Tupac. And they like, oh, well, Nipsey only had one album. Yeah, if you stupid. But Crenshaw is an album. The Marathon is an album. TMC is an album. Mailbox Money is an album. Slauson Boy 2 is an album. Yeah. But the Bullet series, those were albums. He was rapping on the original beats. It's only like 4 or 5 songs out of all those projects where he rapped on somebody else's beat. 90% of the beats on all of those was his own personal beats that he rapped on. So to me, that counts as an album.
Yeah.
Mixtapes is when you rapping on somebody else's beat, flip they hook, and do that. And even with me, like I said, I count all that. So I put those in 50 Cent's catalog of how I judge him. Because that's like saying, you're not the best player because you wasn't always playing on NBA courts. But if I was playing against NBA talent, that counts to me. When they say, what was the greatest dunk you ever seen? Vince Carter jumping over that 7-foot motherfucker in the Olympics. You can't say, oh, it don't count because it wasn't on NBA time.
Right.
It counted. It happened on a damn 10-foot basketball court. So when I count rappers against other rappers, if you had a hot-ass mixtape, count to me. So I'm counting Crenshaw against any project that Tupac had. I'm counting Mailbox Money against any album that anybody ever had. I'm putting all that in Nipsey Hussle's catalog. And I will put Nipsey Hussle's catalog against anybody and say he top 5. Period. And I'm willing to debate anybody. Y'all could catch me on IG, hit my DM, YUNGDOLEMITE. If you'd like to argue about the shit, I'm willing. I'm ready. Because to me, Nipsey Hussle, top 5, dead or alive. Like he's on his way to Mount Rushmore.
That body of work is crazy.
I look at Nipsey Hussle as a cross between Jay-Z and Tupac. He was revolutionary like Tupac with the business sense of Jay-Z. So to me, he's in the GOAT category easily. I might not say that he's the greatest rapper of all time, but he's in the conversation. Definitely. And if you want to count hip-hop figure, because when people say that Tupac is the greatest rapper, he's not. Bar-wise, he's not. Not even fucking close. He was rapping cap, jap, tap, blap, pap. Like, Dear Mama is one of the most elementary school songs I've ever heard. But the thing about Tupac, what made him so great, because I'm not just finna shit on Tupac. Tupac was able to say some deep, profound shit, and you could literally be 7 years old and feel that shit. Like, Tupac made music that the dumbest nigga in the world could feel. Like, he was able to understand shit to such a degree that he could literally explain it to anybody. And that's a talent a lot of niggas ain't got. Tupac could make anybody feel what the fuck he was saying. He had the voice, he had the personality, he had the charisma, as well as just being an overall stand-up dude. Just off wax. A lot of rappers can't say that. A lot of rappers don't have a reputation outside of the booth that people can follow and get behind. it's only really Tupac, Jay-Z, and Nipsey. It's really nobody else who you would consider to be a leader in the hip hop game. Like in the hip hop community, somebody who people will get behind and say, this is the motherfucker who I want to be like on and off the microphone. Like, can you think of anybody?
That's because of if you think it's newer people, a lot of they track record is horrible.
Exactly. You know like saying? There's dirt on 90% of the names in the hip hop community. And I think that was part of the reason this Nipsey Hussle shit got so many people when they would look through the comment sections of a lot of these RIP posts. Because it seems like when a lot of rappers die, go to jail, or something significant happens to them, you look through the comment section and somebody will be like, oh, but he a child molester though. Oh, he ain't really from the city he be claiming he from though. Oh, that nigga did this, or, you know, he ain't really with that. I know he ain't even really from the hood he be claiming. Like, every rapper has some type of smudge on their record. You know, and like, it just tripped me out. Like, just looking at the big picture when you back up and really look at it and you think, like, of all these rappers, East Coast, West Coast included, wherever you want to think about it, all the resources that they had, all the influence that they had, none of them had the impact on their community or just the hip-hop community or the world that Nipsey had. In the short time he was in hip-hop, it wasn't a lot of people who could say that they matched what he was able to do. I heard a couple of days ago, T.I. compared himself to Tupac. Can't compare yourself to Nip, though. Like, you gonna have to show me some tangible statistics that show me that you was in the same atmosphere as Nip.
And not just speaking against shit.
Actually making some shit happen, nigga. I don't want to see your hashtags and your tweets and the fucking boycotts you led. Right. I mean, what community centers have you opened up? What do you own in your city where you employing people from the community? What are you doing in the city of Atlanta that's going to make people say, we need a statue of this nigga? Because I feel like they should put a statue of Nipsey Hussle outside the Staples Center. Or somewhere on Crenshaw and Slauson.
Yeah.
Because they already circulating a petition to name a street after him. And I believe he deserves it. Like, Crenshaw and Slauson has become Switzerland in L.A., where at one point, just those two names together was like, nah, G. It's some real niggas that was scared to be on that corner. Like, that was a known no-go. That Shell station was a no-go. Even Slauson T's. If you wasn't from 60s, or you wasn't, you know, certified, stamped, and had a pass, or had somebody with you, a chaperone, that's a no-go. He made that shit to where it was like anybody could go. Literally. You could be in there flamed up, blued up from the shoes up. You could be a cholo, bald-headed, tattoos on your forehead and your face and all that. Everybody was welcome on Crenshaw and Slauson. To the Marathon store, it was a safe zone. That's kind of what was the problem with Nipsey. Like, he was safe. He was kicking it. That was basically home plate. Like, he had no reason to have 30 security guards because he didn't have to move like that. Nipsey was the one nigga to be able to say, I'm from 60s, and hop out in the middle of Nickerson Gardens with 50 racks worth of jewelry on, a Rolex on his wrist, and wasn't nobody gonna touch him. Security or not. A lot of motherfuckers don't really got that pass in real life, especially without cameras and prior, hey, y'all, me and the camera crew are coming to your neighborhood. Is that okay? Nipsey will pop up in your neighborhood impromptu without telling nobody. And when you see him, it's all love. Nipsey had a pass a lot of motherfuckers ain't got. A lot of people from out of town don't even understand the level of pull Nipsey had. Like, I was watching Snoop Dogg, basically, you know, doing his RIP video, and I'm like, nigga, you been the king of the West Coast since 93. This nigga only been here 10 years. And the Truce has his name on it. Crenshaw and Slauson has his name on it. Like his impact, like they having candlelight vigils all over the world. I seen one in London.
Wow.
London for Nipsey Hussle. I seen one in Dallas, Houston. They had one not too far from where I live at, in Pomona. Of course, LA. I'm sure every hood, because I know my hood went up for them. So I'm sure every hood had a little something in their section, you know, wherever they consider to be their little home plate at. Everybody had something for Nipsey. Shout out my nigga Geechee Gotti with the condolences video. That shit went all the way up. Everybody was reposting that. Everybody was showing love to that video. He gassed the fuck out that shit. Like, you know, he just was 100% loved. His name was platinum. The only thing I've seen negative of him was punk ass motherfuckers calling him homophobic. And that was a hell of a punk ass clout chase move.
That was whack as fuck.
Exactly. Like you like where all this love he getting, and you gonna choose that little bullshit to put on his name. All these motherfucking homophobic people that's literally active right now in Hollywood, music, media, any type of entertainment. There's homophobic people. But you want to choose the good name of a man who just passed away of some bullshit. You want to throw some dirt on his name? Like, man, fuck you, dude.
They should beat his ass.
Man, for real. Like, you know, handle it the way we handle shit in the street. Some grown-ups need their ass whooped too. Don't kill him.
No.
Just, you know, lay down a demonstration on him real quick. Let him know that that's not to be tolerated. Sometimes you got to put hands and feet on a motherfucker so they understand that sometimes some shit bigger than words. Kodak, yes, sir. You gonna need hands and feet.
And elbows.
Man, all that. Kneecaps, boots, all that. Because that shit is just far beyond disrespectful. And the fact that you didn't know how disrespectful you was when you said that shows me that you ain't got no real motherfuckers around you.
And his apology was it was bullshit. Like, you apologize, but it's like as what they, you know, like the backhanded compliment type shit. Like, it was a backhanded apology.
It was a backhanded apology.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was bullshit.
Yeah. It was the equivalent of saying, I'm sorry that you felt that way.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm sorry you was offended. But you know what? At the end of the day, fuck you though. Because that's pretty much what he said. Like, yeah, I'm sorry to him.
Yeah.
He ain't even say his name. I'm sorry, London, and I'm sorry to that dude. Fuck you mean that dude, nigga?
Yeah.
And I'm not here to be the apology police, but no fly zone.
And I'm glad that they took his shit off the radio. And I seen a couple of times where people were saying that they didn't play his music out here anyway. Like, yes, they did.
Yeah, they played that Z shit.
Zeke, they played that, and they played
Tunnel Vision.
And what was his first single? That other single, I can't remember it.
I don't know. I'm not like a big fan of the nigga, but
you know,
those are the songs that I heard.
So they played that, and I also seen a motherfucker say that, oh, L.A. I think it was like L.A. radio funny because I never heard Nipsey on the radio. Nipsey stayed at the radio station. I don't think he wouldn't go to the radio stations all the time in his backyard and they not play. They play Nipsey on the radio.
Exactly. And who's that? Is that a person who listens to the radio? Because, you know, some people literally just be saying shit.
That's true too.
Some motherfuckers ain't got no information or evidence and they just throw something out their ass to be the contrarian of the situation. Some motherfuckers just want to have that one different opinion. Like I was saying about them that guy ass niggas who when somebody decides that they want to become a fan of Nipsey post-mortem, they want to shit on him. Like, I've been a fan since, you know, 99. I was a fan since he first picked up a microphone and I bought a tape from him on the 108 bus. And okay, congratulations, my nigga. Do you get a check for that? Does this person becoming a fan make you less of a fan? No. So shut the fuck up and let them enjoy the legacy. Let them help him get his streams up.
Exactly.
You shitting on them ain't gonna help Nipsey. You telling people, oh, now you want to be a fan? That's not helping nobody. That makes you look like a fucking sucker. Because looking like the king dick rider ain't gonna help you. Because that's what you sound like when you mad at another nigga for being a fan of somebody that you a fan of. Like it's a secret fucking society or something. Like, nigga, his streams wouldn't have went up 3,000% without the new people who say, oh, let me check this dude out. I see everybody showing this nigga love. He must really got some shit. Let me check it out. Oh, he got nominated for a Grammy. Let me check it out. Yes, please. Check it out. Stream it. Put that motherfucker on repeat. Oh, you just got on. You just heard the name Nipsey Hussle? Yeah, go check that out. Okay. Not, oh, now you on the wave, huh? Oh, now you want to R.I.P., huh?
You know, and like I said, you know, we had the conversation where it's cool if you didn't know his shit and then you seen everything he's been doing or was about to do or done. And you be like, you know what? Let me go check this nigga out because he's an interesting ass nigga. He's doing all this. And like I keep saying to everybody, he did so much with less than his peers had.
Exactly. Like I said, Snoop was the king of the West Coast for 20 years. Like Snoop was from 93 to Game got cracking in 04.
Yeah. 04, 05.
So 11 years of being the king. And by the time the Game came in, Snoop was still above him.
Yeah.
You know, Game had it. Game was the man in the front, but Snoop was still the king. Like, Game was the prince. He was the hot name, just like how Kendrick is. Like, Kendrick is the hot name. He's the top seller on the West Coast, but he's not the king. He can't push that button. Snoop had the ability to push that button. Snoop could mobilize people. Snoop could say, we don't fuck with that person. And that was what it was. If Snoop said we ain't fucking with that dude, we wasn't fucking with that dude. So Snoop was the king. What did Snoop get accomplished that Nipsey didn't? I almost want to say, what the fuck did he get accomplished, period? But he got a football league, so I fuck with that.
I'm about to say football league, and some of the people went there. But I think Nipsey had a hand in, he helped the Crenshaw, I forgot their name. He helped them out. But like I said, when we talked on the phone, you would think Snoop would have brought, what was the record company?
VIP
Records, instead of letting it go or letting it get sold, whatever the case. Because that's like a staple in their city. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Nipsey brought that center right there. You know, that's a staple in their neighborhood. I want to have a staple in my neighborhood. You know, and I was to a song today. He said, nigga, at the end of the day, all I know is my hood. If I die today, my hood will be proud of me.
Yeah.
And it ain't just the hood that's proud of you. Nigga, the world is proud of you.
Especially the hip-hop community. The black community.
Yeah.
If not the whole world, trust me, dog. Everybody who you had influence over is proud of you. Yes. It was a victory. It was, you know, like I said, it was ironic. The name of his last album was Victory Lap. Because that's exactly what it was. I'm sure that's not what he meant for it to be. Because he had been promising to put out Victory Lap since the first Marathon came out.
It was about that timing.
Exactly. Because the Marathon was 2012, 2011.
Let me see.
2010.
2010?
Yeah, the Marathon came out in 2010. So 9 years he been teasing this album. And it finally came out. So I don't think that he was like, oh, I'ma die, so here go my last album. But I'm sure Biggie wasn't thinking I'ma die when he put out Life After Death.
Right.
Like, you know, it's just ironic. It's a crazy coincidence that the shit happens, but, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, like, it's crazy that Nip had a bigger impact than, shit, to me, anybody. Pac included. Jay-Z included.
You think he had a bigger impact?
Yeah. Because I'm looking at what all he did in totality. community, hip hop game, all of that. His impact just on lives. Like, put it this way. Name a Jay-Z album that changed your life. Like, when have you heard a Jay-Z album and you was like, man, that shit made me want to do ABC? Like, I heard niggas say, oh, you know, Tupac album got me through jail, or, you know, Tupac did this. You know, if it wasn't for Tupac, I wouldn't be doing this. Like, Tupac had that type of influence. Nipsey got niggas starting businesses. Like, nigga, I finished college behind this shit. Like, to me, the most influential rappers in hip-hop, Tupac, Nipsey, and I hate to say it, Kanye.
You don't think Jay-Z's up there? Influential?
In what?
Jay-Z got all these.
Because I mean, as far as
you right.
You as a hip-hop fan listening to his music, how did that influence your life?
Oh, you mean just music alone?
Yeah, his music. What did his music do to make you have a reaction?
Yeah, I can't. The nigga that influenced me when I was doing music was P. That nigga had me on my shit. And that was...
but that was off wax.
Yeah,
you didn't hear the song and say,
oh, yeah,
yeah, nigga, I know what I need to do now.
Yeah, it was all off wax.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, you heard the words he was saying, and you said, this is how I feel, and this is what I'm going to do because of what I heard.
Yeah.
Like I said, Tupac, Nipsey, and Kanye West. A lot of, you know, as bad as Kanye West then fell into our bad graces, Kanye West had a hell of an impact on people's lives. As far as his fans, people who followed his music closely, you know, Kanye got a lot of niggas through college. Kanye made a lot of niggas drop out of college and follow their dreams into whatever they followed them into. Like, even Tyler, the Creator, a lot of those little dorky kids felt more confident because of the success of Tyler, the Creator, and those little nerds. Like, I could be a dork and skate and all this, and I could still be successful. I know some little nerdy skateboard kids who, like, I've heard niggas say that, like, he was one of the GOATs. Like, you fucking wildin', but I respect your opinion.
Well, the Jay-Z 444 album. I think previous to that,
made niggas want to apologize to their woman for fucking up.
I think previous to that, I don't know if there's any other this lyric-driven album that Jay-Z made to be like, you know what, this making me want to do something different in life.
Nigga, I kind of want to take a call. Fat Beats, you saying no way to Kanye? Do you want to call in, Fat Beats? Because Fat Beat, he did the beat for the Too Much Game podcast. Fat Beats is the most slept on producer on the West Coast. He is fucking amazing. I went to high school with him. That's the homie. I'm proud to call him a homie of mine. But Kanye, man, Kanye was influential. Yes, he's a dickhead. I get it. He's an asshole. We don't like him. Kanye is canceled.
He's influential because he killed gangster rap.
That's what I mean. Like, Kanye West was the reason a lot of these niggas is running around here skinny jean dorky as a motherfucker, because he had that influence. I don't mean influence on the hip hop genre. I don't mean influence on the sound of music. I just mean influence on the personal impact on the person listening to the music. When you are listening to this music, what influence does that have on you? Who is the most influential musician as far as what they're saying, what that makes you go into in your life? Man, Kanye changed a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, Kanye is this or that. I'm saying as far as his fans and their testimony to what he did for them personally, a lot of people say Kanye West when it comes to, I wouldn't be this if not for this music. Kanye's name comes up a lot. So I put Kanye not on the level of Nipsey, but when it comes to the top influential rappers, as far as the impact they have on the listeners of their music, Kanye, Nipsey, and Pac.
See, that's why Pac is so high up on the scale when niggas say this is the top, your top.
I don't know how you let me skip this name, Eminem.
Hey, you know it's funny. I was thinking that in my head.
Nigga, especially you.
Yeah, for those that's listening, yeah, me, Ben Ready is a super Eminem fan. Been for years, still vouching for him. That whatchamacallit album was trash, and I don't like every album, but I do like Eminem as an artist.
Yeah, nigga, and I'm in my head, I'm like, I know it's a name I'm forgetting.
It's funny because I said I'm thinking like Eminem, but I'm like, I'm gonna let him.
Yeah, because like he's not influential in the black community, but nigga, be like I told you, nigga, like if you disagree with me, by all means, please.
No, Eminem, you can say Eminem because Eminem changed
white people.
The culture. But he changed hip hop culture as well.
No, but see, I'm not saying hip hop culture because if you want to say who changed hip hop culture,
yeah,
we could throw a lot of names in there. Like you could put Travis Scott in there. Like it's Lil Uzi Vert. Like it's a lot of names. The Migos. Like it's a lot of names to who you could say Migos, that for sure. When they came out, it literally made the whole fucking game say, "Oh, this the sound now." Like Kendrick, it's a lot of niggas who you could call influential if you want to say influential to the hip hop community. I mean, influential to the niggas who was listening to their music.
Right.
You know, Eminem, a lot of fans, you know, they heard this album and this made them feel a certain way. Eminem, Kanye, Tupac, and Nip. But as far as me, I look at, as far as the positives, Kanye, Pac, and Nipsey. I can't really say Eminem because he really just empowered the dorks. And that's cool.
That nigga empowered me, huh?
If that's what you feel like his music did for you, because a lot of us, as far as people who enjoyed his music, was just like, nigga just had hella bars. But it wasn't like you would say, oh, when I heard the Marshall Mathers LP, this was the impact on my life. Nah. I just was like, this shit is dope as a motherfucker. This white boy rapping his ass off. That was the impact that Eminem had on me. Like, this nigga can fucking rap. But I wasn't, you know, like, man, if it wasn't for this motherfucking Eminem album, I wouldn't be doing such and such. But nigga, the marathon had niggas like, I was finna quit music until I heard that shit. I was finna quit cutting hair till I heard that shit. Nigga, I was finna give up comedy till I heard that shit. I was gonna give up on this dream that I had. I had this fucking business and shit wasn't going right. But when I heard this, I was like, fuck that. You got to keep on grinding.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, like I said, listening to Nip and watching everything, you know, like before the show started, I'm like, yo, that shit got me hella motivated. Because when you starting from the bottom, it can get discouraging because a lot of times the closest people to you not supporting, you know, you have to, it's other people that will support you a lot of times before. So it's like, damn, nigga, this shit is fucked up. But listen to that, like, I ain't got no fucking time to play. If niggas ain't on they shit, we gotta cut the dead weight, you know, just making moves. My boy Joe, his boy who just passed said, man, if you're not damn near going in debt into something you love or your craft, you ain't going hard enough.
Exactly. Like shit, the last Nipsey Hussle interview that I posted on the Too Much Game Instagram page, like he was saying, like, nigga, if I pass, nigga, I just want to be satisfied in knowing I left it all on the floor. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't waste my life if I did everything that I had to do. If I gave everything that I had in the tank, as long as I leave on E, I left doing what I was supposed to do. Like, nigga, my work is done as long as I left it all on the floor. Like, I'm not even comfortable if I feel like I didn't give it all I had in everything that I do.
Right.
And I live my life by them same principles. Like I tell niggas all the time, I don't have free time. There's no free time in the life of young Dolemite. Nigga, I work like 14 hours a day. I spend 5 hours with my family and I sleep for 5. That's my 24. 6 days a week, I'm at work and I do my family thing. 1 day a week, I come podcast. I drive an hour and some change to come out here. I do an hour show with CJ, 3 o'clock Sundays, Cat versus Dog podcast.
Plug.
We sit here, shoot the shit for a second, and then live at 5. I'm on Too Much Game. And then I dip home, by a little hour drive, jump in the fucking bed, and my job called me, and I'm back on the fucking road. Nigga, I'm running this motherfucking marathon. You know, like, I'm busting my motherfucking ass. I got zero free time. And that's because I got a legacy to leave behind. I got kids and shit. You know, I got to make sure I buy my wife and kids a fucking house. So if something happened to me, God forbid, they taken care of. If I die right now, life insurance going to pay my house off and my family going to be straight. So I'm doing that. Like, my tribute to Nipsey Hussle was to buy a house, to gain some equity, own some shit, because that's what Nipsey Hussle preached in music and in deed. Because it wasn't like he was just rapping some shit that he wasn't doing. That's what made him so powerful, because everything that he was saying in his songs, it was backed up with action. Like, he talked all this gangster shit, and his hood vouched for him. Like, oh no, Thundercat really with that shit. We know him as Thundercat over here. He Nipsey to y'all. He a rapper to y'all. To us, he's a gangster. He rap gangster shit, and you found out he was a real life gangster, nigga. Like, nigga, all this shit that I'm rapping about, nigga, this ain't just music. I do this. When the marathon came out and he was rapping that millionaire money shit, nigga, get some business, nigga. I own my masters. I own this. I'm buying this. I'm doing this. He was really doing that shit. This nigga went and bought back the block. He bought the hood. Like, he made moves that made niggas want to make the same moves he was making. Like I said in episode 6 about role models not looking cool. He was the cool fucking role model. You wanted to look how he looked. You want to dress how he dressed. You want to do what he do. This nigga got the baddest bitch in the game. He knocked down Lauren London. She's on a lot of people's top 5 dead or alive list. And that was his woman. He had the woman everybody wanted. He was driving the cars everybody wanted. He had 5 fat Cubans on. It's street niggas that got paper who can't get a Cuban like that. Them chains is like 20 bands a piece. That's 100 racks on his neck. Not mentioning the All Money In piece. Not mentioning the Malcolm X piece. Like, he was on. Like, everything he said he was doing, and couldn't nobody put no smut on his name. Every rapper that you can name that considered themselves to be the king of anything had dirt on their name, except him. The worst dirt Nipsey Hussle had on his name was basically certain groups' views on how he looked at them, whether they called him homophobic, or I remember a tweet that he liked of a nigga basically saying, like, you know, black women ain't shit type, whoop-de-whoop. And, you know, again, it was one of them young nigga moves he made, which, who ain't did that?
I'm about to say, you can't even really hold that against him.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't hold misogyny, or you can hold misogyny against a rapper if you want to, but I'm just saying it as devil's advocate. If you just want to pull something out of the deep delve cracks of your ass to try to shit on Nipsey, that's the worst thing you're going to find.
Right.
And I could name literally 100 rappers off the front of my head that's misogynistic in bars and in deed.
Shit, damn near all of them.
Exactly.
Shit.
And for you to pull a tweet out of your ass about Nipsey, he's pretty good to his woman. I don't remember a whole lot of Nipsey Hussle scandals, but somebody who compared themselves to Nipsey, Future, lots of scandals. The fact that Future could try to put his name in the same category as Nipsey is like, nigga, what are you on? Like, you said that you wasn't a drug addict, but when you tweeted that shit or wrote that shit in them comment section, yeah, I think Future might really be on some of those drugs he's making music about.
That's a perfect way to say it, that he's making music about, because he don't do them.
Exactly. So it's like, but for you to say some shit like that, like, oh, you know, niggas like us. Who the fuck is us?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are people comparing themselves to this dude at a time where he's there? Like, let the nigga get buried and fully, you know, let him rest in peace, or, you know, let's get this over till he's in the ground, and stop I don't know why they feel like they have to put themselves in there.
Because I understand that the fact that for you to become a successful artist, you probably do have to have a certain level of ego. But my advice to Future, if you want to compare yourself to Nipsey, kill yourself. But like, it's just one of them things, because I like this. My only comparisons to Nipsey is Tupac and Jay-Z. It ain't even really nobody else who you can categorize with him as far as a figure in the hip hop community. It's nobody even fucking close. You might say, oh, this person has better bars than him, but community impact, nah. Because community impact, from what I'm seeing that Killer Mike is doing a lot.
Yeah. Facts.
David Banner is doing a lot. And I can't even really say doing a lot because, like I said, I'm counting tangible shit.
Yeah, I was about to say
shit you can touch.
Killer Mike is buying up blocks out there. So you know what I'm saying? So he making the community better in his thing. I don't know about Banner though. I know he talk a good game.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and again, I'm not trying to discredit them. They might really be doing a lot. They just doing something that I personally have not seen. I could be completely incorrect. That nigga could have the whole Black Wall Street in Mississippi somewhere. And if he does, I commend him for that. But what puts Nipsey above them is what he's doing musically. The reason I'm putting Nipsey in the category with Jay-Z and Tupac is because musically they were up there, and impact-wise they was there. Master P, musically, he had a little spot. He had a little 3-year run where he was the hot dude, and he made a lot of money financially. He made a lot, but he didn't really make that impact. A couple of us who are fans of Master P, like, he says some real shit a lot of times. If you listen to a lot of Master P interviews, he dropping some jewelry. But again, it's not really super impactful because people consider him to be corny. Master P was the precursor for Nipsey Hussle as far as the musical businessman that he is. Because when you look at a Jay-Z, Jay-Z was somewhat independent when he came in with Dame Dash, but Dame Dash was really the business mind that brought Jay-Z into the game. Jay-Z wasn't like Nipsey Hussle. There's really no name you attach to Nipsey when you say, oh, this was the businessman and Nipsey was the rapper. Jay-Z came in, Dame Dash was the businessman and Jay-Z was the rapper. Jay-Z made a lot of smart business moves later on in his career, but at the same time, you could credit a lot of that to Live Nation, a lot of the corporations that he dealt with. Nipsey Hussle was on some fuck the middleman. He was doing all his own stunts, business-wise, musically, and all of that. Like, I remember seeing Nipsey on Twitter, like, producers, send me beats. I got a mixtape coming, send me beats. So Nipsey was doing, all that. He was on his shit as far as musically getting everything done on a grassroots level. A lot of these rappers ain't grassroots like that. As far as grassroots rappers, only Nipsey and Master P. Nobody else really did that shit on the underground like Nipsey and Master P did. They the only two that could really say they completely, honestly self-made in the hip-hop game. And even in the
Tech Nine. Self-made.
Yeah, but he didn't get to where they got.
Nowhere near close.
Like I'm not discrediting him. He because you could say that for Sibo. It's a lot of rappers that did the independent grind, but I'm saying who was able to start from the bottom and get to the top. Like, got on the Grammy stage, got on, they doing Staples Center arenas and shit. Like, I could name a bunch of grassroots niggas who name we might be able to know. But I mean a nigga who was able to go from literally the bottom, no label, put him in the forefront like that. Like, a lot of these niggas, they had label deals. He started that shit from grind. He started that motherfucker from passing out CDs in parking lots, bus stations, bus stops, Blue Line. Like, it's a lot of niggas in LA who could say, oh yeah, nigga, I remember Nipsey and, Black Sam passed me a CD here. I remember Nipsey and Rollo here. I remember seeing Nipsey by himself. He was in my hood, whoop-de-whoop, passing out CDs. I remember the nigga popped the trunk. We was all outside. That nigga was passing CDs out. Like, he started from that to get to Grammy nominated, a Grammy he should have won. A lot of rappers can't say that. P can't even say that. P wasn't Grammy nominated independent. Like, what Nipsey was able to do in a short 33-year life was fucking amazing. He leapfrogged a lot of niggas. Like I said, I'm looking at Snoop Dogg. You ran the West Coast for all these years. You ain't buying no blocks up. It's a lot that he did that a lot of rappers who had a bigger platform and a bigger pocketbook wasn't able to do, wasn't doing. Because as far as impact on your city, Nipsey, probably maybe Scarface in Houston and Drake in Toronto. Like, where you literally the king of your city. And I can't even say Scarface in Houston because Scarface is hip-hop GOAT to a lot of us. Like, lyrically, he's dope. But I don't think he got that where he could push the button in Houston because that's Jay Prince City. Mm-hmm. And he ain't no rapper. But as far as rappers who can make something shake in their city, Nipsey and Drake. Maybe Boosie and Baton Rouge. But it's been times Jay-Z as far as hip-hop king in New York. I don't know if his impact was like that because he had 50 trolling him and he wasn't able to get rid of him.
Yeah, he was too powerful.
Exactly. So as far as power in the city that you from, like where the Lakers and the Clippers are giving props to Nipsey Hussle. Like Nipsey, he ran LA like in real life, on the streets and in the hip hop community. Because as much as Kendrick Lamar is the top artist in hip hop right now, he ain't the king of LA. Not even, not at all. He's not even in LA. But us, we can go and see Nipsey Hussle in person. Mm-hmm. A lot of us have seen, nigga, I forgot I met Nipsey Hussle. I was tripping. Like, I was going through my phone little catalog of pictures. And was like, oh, shit. I didn't take a picture with him, but I took a picture of him and shit. Like, we was at, basically, it was like a business summit at the bank sale, which is a clothing event. Mm-hmm. He was up there, and the CEO of Popular, the little clothing brand, and they was up there basically just giving they keys to success. Like, this is the type of shit you do in business. But Nipsey, it was more of like an interview. She was asking pretty much a bunch of shit that real fans already knew. Like, oh, what started you into the hip hop game, and how did you start doing this, and how did you start your clothing line? Us as niggas who are big fans of Nipsey was like, I already know all this shit. Yeah. So I was just kind of just sitting in the back, like, taking pictures and shit, like, not really paying attention. And he was talking about basically opening up the Marathon store, which is the first smart store. Like, I got this store, and, this is how it's going to work. You're going to be able to buy a piece of merchandise, and you can scan a little code on it, and it'll come with a song, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And he was breaking down how he was going to put basically a high-end clothing store in the middle of the hood. And I'm like, that's dope. So at the end of the thing, they had the little meet and greet. And the one time my stupid ass played it cool. Because, like when you go to like these little meet and greet things where people are all like, oh my God, bro. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be doing this, bro. You changed my life, bro. Bunch of niggas dick riding and shit. So as it come my turn in line, I just shook his hand like, man, congratulations on the store, man. I'll see you when I get up there, man. I can't wait to come buy a shirt or something. And in my personal mind, I'm like, I'll get around to it.
Right.
I'll see him. One of these weekends, I'm going to fuck around and pull up, go get me a shirt, shake his hand, and take a flick with him. Because I wasn't finna ask for a picture with him. I felt like, you know how niggas is, like, I ain't finna dick ride this nigga, man. Not on no hating shit, just on some, I'm not a dick rider. So I don't take pictures with niggas. I tell niggas all the time, it's a lot of niggas that I fuck with that ain't got no pictures with me. So I'm not finna go take a picture with him because he's a celebrity. I'm a big fan. I looked up to him like, man, I really feel it. Like, his whole movement is the shit to me. I feel like he one of the greatest. He's one of my favorite rappers ever by far. But again, just on some me being fake cool nigga shit, I didn't take no picture with him. And I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. It would have been dope to have a flick with him. But at the same time, just the fact that I met him is fly. Like, that's cool. But again, man, like, it's just a trip to have thought that I had a limited amount of time to be like, oh, I'm going to go to the Marathon store. I'm sure he'll be there because any real nigga in LA, no, he's up there often. A lot of rappers blow up and you never see them in their city, especially not they set. 1,000 rappers claim a hood that you will never see them in. A lot of rappers is claiming a hood that you go to the hood they claim and they like, man, we ain't seen that nigga in years. And, you know, like I seen a lot of motherfuckers replaying that Boosie interview when he was talking about how many rappers get killed in their own city. Like, oh, man, you know, you ain't supposed to be in your city, man. It's so much hatred in your city. Not for Nip. I didn't really know a lot of people who had ill will towards him. I don't know a lot of people who had bad things to say about him. I knew niggas who literally was his enemy. Like, niggas who personally was like, man, fuck that nigga Thundercat. I'm like, damn, nigga like that? He like, man, I'm just saying I don't like the nigga. I ain't saying he turned down no fades, nothing. I'm just saying I don't like the nigga. Like, nigga, you know, he fought the homie. Like, oh, so he really, he with the shit.
Right.
Like, even niggas I know who was enemies of him, you know, you don't like him, but you gotta respect him. You might not like that nigga across the street, but if you know he ain't turned down no fades and he with everything he say he with, you gotta respect it. You ain't gotta like it, but you damn sure gonna respect it. So even niggas who I knew who had bad, you know, mojo towards him, they was like, he a real nigga though.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You know, and I respect that because just going on his resume as he was doing in the community, the STEM program, which a lot of people was like, man, you knew he was doing stem cell research. You know, like the niggas who, again, like when it comes to the conspiracy talk, I'm not saying, or let me put it this way, I'm not arguing with you niggas on whether or not it was a conspiracy. Because I believe what I believe and you gonna believe what you gonna believe. I believe that shit was a hit. I believe the feds had something to do with that shit. No matter how many times you niggas try to hit me with the, man, it was a nigga from the 60s, it was a snitch, it was Lil Shitty and all this bullshit. That's cool. But I look at it like, it don't take nothing to put some money in a nigga hand who already got ill will towards you to make him do something to you. And after he does whatever he does to you, it's going to be looked at as a you and him situation and not a me giving him money situation. So it's easy to clear your own name when you get another person to do your dirt for you. So for people to say, oh, it was a one-on-one thing, y'all really don't understand politics in LA gangbanging. Something that you do is going to have an effect on more than just you. So is it really worth you doing something that's going to cost you more than you? Because it's not just one life for a life, depending on the life that you take. Mm-hmm. Are you really willing to put your mama house on the line behind this? Are you willing to put all your relatives who you cool with on the line behind this? Are you willing to put your best friend and them on the line behind this? Because when you dealing with a made man, it's made man consequences. You know, and that's not to speak on, or let me say, this is not to say like, oh, Nipsey was so gangster. But this is the type of love he had. That's a button he wasn't going to have to push. That's a button that was going to push itself. Like Nipsey didn't have to say, I need y'all to go get them. He could have literally said, I don't want y'all to do nothing. But what fucks it up for people is Nipsey said, if they kill me, ride for me. That button got slammed into the ground.
Like a motherfucker.
Like, nigga, oh, ride? We finna show up and show the fuck out. And that's what happened. I'm just glad that as far as the streets as a whole, the streets of LA, the way we rolled for them was in peace. What happened to Shitty's folks, you know, sucks to be y'all. But as far as the streets of LA, it's a beautiful thing out here. You know, I'm seeing a lot of niggas who had beefs standing for lifetimes, literally. Niggas who was beefing since before I was born, and I'm 36 fucking years old. And they, you know, shaking hands and talking to each other, and, you know, they face to face. And it's like, that is beautiful, because these is niggas who otherwise would have killed each other on sight.
On sight. That shit was wonderful, man.
Man, like I was telling, like me and you was talking about. It's a lot of niggas still alive on the streets today because of Nipsey Hussle before he died. A lot of shit got turned down because of the impact of the life and career of Nipsey Hussle. Like a lot of dudes would be underground if not for the message of peace that he was preaching. A lot of niggas would be underground just for the small little red and blue make green. Him and J-Rock making songs together. Him and YG making songs together. Him and YG having the album that they was working on together. A lot of niggas was giving passes behind that shit. Like right now, it's a lot of passes finna be handed out behind what happened to Nipsey Hussle. And it's like, I felt like he died for our sins. Like, he died so all of this peace that's coming forward can happen. Like, you know, and not to compare him, even though I'm not no Christian, no way, so it's whatever. I'm not just finna say he's Jesus, but at the same time, they both died at 33, and the death of Nipsey Hussle was like the seed being buried for this tree of peace that we have in the city. Like, you know, I'm sure it would have happened because he was going to meet with the LAPD the next day.
Mm-hmm.
To have something, you know, like, man, we gotta get this body count down. But he ended up getting laid down. And now that he's under, you know, he's to the great beyond, now the streets is coming together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, I just hope we keep that same energy. I hope we keep this legacy going.
Me too, man.
Because, you know, like I said, like, if we get back on the bullshit, he died for nothing. Like, he died in vain. But now that the peace is over the city, it's like, this is the silver lining around this dark ass cloud. Because this shit was heavy. This shit fucked the streets up. We went outside. That shit was dead fucking silent.
Quiet as fuck.
Nigga, you could hear crickets 3 blocks away. You could hear airplanes taking off in the Oakland airport. Like, that shit was, the whole motherfucking city was out here hurting. Real niggas on Instagram posting videos with tears in their eyes, crying. Like, everybody felt this shit. It wasn't a real nigga on the planet that didn't feel this shit. Like, I had homeboys out of state in the Midwest, East Coast, in the South, fucked up behind this shit. Like, you'd have thought Nipsey Hussle was from Chicago. The way niggas out of state was going up. Like, it was niggas all over the country wounded behind this shit. Like, that shit hurt. It hurt a lot of us. We all felt that shit. If you was cracking jokes and laughing and taking it like, I know you wasn't a real nigga. Because it was like every real nigga lost a family member that day.
Because motherfucker.
Nigga, it ain't a lot of us out here. So when we lose one, you know that was one. It was like when Tupac died. Real niggas all over the world felt that shit. Niggas who didn't know they was gonna feel it felt it. It was like, you know, it was like when they say like two twins that never met. One die and the other one just end up randomly dying. It was like a piece of the real nigga puzzle died. So we all felt that shit. Like we was all affected and the shit hurt. But again, I'm just glad that what's happening in the streets is happening. And I hope that they able to keep everything that he had his hands on going. I hope the Dr. Sebi documentary still get made. Nick Cannon said he was going to continue that. Mm-hmm. I hope the STEM program continues. You know, whoever do that. Vector 90. I'm glad that Black Sam gonna keep that going, and you know, I hope the marathon store keep cracking because I still want to get me some shirts, still want to get a hat, still want to get me a crew neck. I still hope that keep going, and you know, just the whole legacy of Nipsey as a whole community. We need to just keep this shit going, keep the peace going. You know, if you hustling, if you an entrepreneur, keep hustling. Because, you know, I always end the show with practical wisdom. You know, don't let the death of the man become the death of the mission. As validation for his memory, we got to unite and grow. You know, start and support black businesses. Acquire assets, especially land. Fuck killing each other. We got to build. You know, we got enough motherfuckers trying to tear us down. So, you know, we just got to build each other up in the name of hustle the great. You know. And I'm just going to end it with, man, R.I.P. to the God, Nip Hussle the Great. You know, I'm going to be back live at 5, Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel. Here with my super producer, Ben Ready.
Yes, sir.
You know, we'll holler at you motherfuckers later on, man. I'm not here to help you get bitches. I'm here to help you get better. Too much game.